I think it's time to get to the real meat of the matter. The
The
NFL,
meat and potatoes.
the NFL
Continue,
season just crossed halfway point. And since we have three different teams here, perspectives of three different teams, I want to know how we're all feeling going into the second half of the season. Aiden, we're going to start with you just because it'll make me a little bit happier to start with you. To hear
Who's winning the division? Okay.
And that's what I want to hear about. I want to hear your season so far and what you expect for the second half.
So, as a Penn State and Eagles fan, I have had possibly the worst start to a football season I've experienced in many moons, if I'm being honest. We're 0-4 with the Nittany Lions, so that's just – well, I won't even get into that.
Yeah, we'll just leave that. We'll leave that.
We'll leave that at the door. But the Eagles, I don't know. I think Carson, his time is slowly coming up here. I don't know how much more of this I can watch. I don't think the problem is Dougie P. I'm getting multiple texts right now. Jeez. Okay.
Hey, he's a busy
It's
guy.
from a number I didn't know. I know who it is now. I saw the text messages.
Aiden's
But
got a little bit
Dougie,
of the humble brag there.
The humble guy. He's like, yo.
God, why can't I be less popular?
He's like, yo, I got 12 texts right now. I'm not. They're
People,
all
if you hear that, stop texting me,
They're
please.
12 different girls.
No, it's actually a project thing I'm working on. But Dougie P is not the issue, I don't think. The management's not the issue. Right now, the issue is Carson Wentz. His decision-making is terrible. And I think anyone who's watched the Eagles play at all this year can see that. And that's my opinion on that. I think his decision-making is just not good. We don't have much of a line. And then receivers were banged up. Deshaun Jackson, I would just love to see him on the field, but I think it's time for him to go. We're paying him too much money.
Like 3 quarters this year, I think.
Yeah. And he only played like one game last year, had 2 touchdowns, and then was just like, nah, I'm good. See ya.
And he's like super old.
But the one thing we did find, Travis Fulgham from Old Dominion.
Fulgham's a champ.
Fulgham's good.
Fulgham's
He is good. Jalen Reagor, also good. That thing we fixed. Zach Ertz might be time for him to go too, honestly.
Do you want to hear my opinion on the Eagles?
No, but sure.
So I got into a huge drunken fight over the summer with my dad. And
oh boy.
My dad and my brother and my uncle. And I was like, listen, Carson Wentz is not a top 12 quarterback in the league.
Oh, top 12.
He's not top 12. He is not. And at the time, my dad was like,
you're an idiot, basically. He was like, you're an idiot. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just like, basically favoring us because blah, blah, blah. You don't like the Eagles. You hate on the Eagles.
And now I think people are starting to see that he is not a top 12 quarterback. I don't care how many receivers. Like, for instance, like this is a bad example because you guys know I'm a Seahawks fan. But Russell Wilson for the longest time had 0 receivers. Tyler Lockett he has for his entire career, but he had like freaking scrubs. He had like a high Josh Gordon for like 2 seasons. He had like David Moore. You guys don't even know who David Moore is. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he had
Lockett wasn't
Jermaine
bad.
Purse. Yeah, Lockett was never
Golden
bad.
Tate. He was good when he was there.
Yeah, but throughout the years, he's had average receivers, Carson has bad receivers, but at the same time, like, you got to look and be like, hey, like, Russ still went to the Super Bowl multiple times. He's never had a losing record. And if you look at just Carson in general, he threw for a lot of yards last season, but let's talk about, like, garbage time. Like, he threw for 5,000 – or I think it was 5,000 yards. Let's talk about games that don't matter. You know what I mean? And now this year, I think we're starting to see the fact that, like, even if he does have receivers, the amount of stupid mistakes that dude makes. Yeah. I watched him, like, last week or 2 weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, yeah.
It's the same thing that's happened at Penn State, too, with Sean Clifford. They both just make terrible decisions. Don't throw the ball away. You got to throw the ball away. That's that's the first thing. You got to throw the ball away when it's time to throw the ball away.
Yeah, Aiden, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, Wentz came into the league and then in his sophomore season had an incredible season by all.
Was an MVP candidate.
Yeah, exactly, and then got hurt. But it seems like every season he's regressed a little bit since then. Since that, I know he's had bad luck with injuries, but this season fully healthy, I mean, his offensive line's not doing many favors, but I mean,
Our offensive line hasn't been good since 2017, man. I mean, other than Kelsey and Lane Johnson, and Lane Johnson's been hurt most of the year. Jason Peters, I am not a big fan of Jason Peters.
Well, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame for what he did.
He's he's one of the best of all time, but
dude,
he's
hurt.
not right now. He's not.
He's hurt every year.
He's not. Yeah.
He's hurt all the time, 24/7.
Yeah, and then we got this babyface Driscoll kid in there, and I'm like, oh boy, you look green. You look real green.
But here, it's not just like Carson's receivers can't get open. It's like he rolls out for 20 seconds and then throws an interception type shit, and that's the shit that's just like, okay, maybe you're just not good. And I feel like people are like my dad and I, we got into a big debate over this over the summer, and now I think he's starting to see like, you know what, Max, you're right. Like he just makes stupid decisions that are unacceptable.
The scary part is if they were going to put Jalen in, it would have been now. And the fact that they haven't put him in yet scares me and tells me he's not ready.
Aiden, I want to talk to you about that because my roommate's a big Eagles fan, and we would talk about how Jalen Hurts has not been really utilized effectively from what I'd like to see. Like, because I'll say he was drafted in the second round. If you're going to draft a quarterback in the second round that high, he had like 3 pass attempts on the year. Like, you got to utilize him a little bit more. It seems like every time you put him in, it's one play. It's the option. That's it. And I haven't seen him run a good option play yet this year.
I mean, when he first came in, he did really good, but that's what you expect. You know, you expect a guy to come in, nobody's seen him before, he's going to do good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Jalen, if we were going to use him, we should have used him already. And it's telling me that I don't think that Jalen's ready at all. I don't think he must not be doing good in practice enough to put him in the game. So, and you know, again, I said Dougie P's not the problem, and I trust Doug. Doug's the man. Doug took us to the Super Bowl.
See, as a neutral perspective, like, because I don't hate on the Eagles. I think it's funny when they're bad because I know a lot of people that like the Eagles, but I still don't root against them. But here's the thing, like, I think that, like, why not just put Jalen Hurts in? Like, even if he's like doing bad in practice, like there's no way he could do.
I think that it's because Carson Wentz is like he's still young, sort of.
We also paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, but at the same time, it's like he's so dog shit right now, and honestly, the division could go like to anyone right now. So just put him in there, see what happens. And like
the Cowboys quarterback looked good too. Honestly, when I saw him play, not Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci was terrible.
Dalton or the other one?
Yeah, I don't know. I forget I don't even know what his name was. But
the other one,
good. The one that played against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the 4th string though, so.
Really.
It's just so like pitiful at this point that like the Eagles are in the situation like because dude. And here's the thing you guys forget about: they play 6 games a year. They should have against the worst teams in the NFL, and they can't even beat them. So it's just like
Well, right. And our schedule coming up. We'll move on from this, but our schedule coming up is tough. It's the Browns. I think the Packers, Seahawks.
Yeah.
There's somebody else in there, but it's going to be tough. There's 5 games in a row that we'll probably lose, and then we play Washington and Dallas. So.
But it's anyone's game because of how bad it is at this point.
Yeah, all right. I think that actually we'll stay in the NFC East and we'll go to me then, I guess, because on the other side of this, well, I wouldn't say the other side of the spectrum, is the Giants, my team. I mean, we're still a game and a half back of the Eagles, so that needs to be put in context. However, going into a bye week, having just beat the Eagles for the first time since 2016, I think, I'm feeling good. Daniel Jones, 2 straight games without a turnover. The only time he's done that in his career. You know, Saquon going out so early was really a big detriment on our offense, but we've coped with it fairly well. The guys that have come in have done well, and our defense has been a surprise package. And if you look at our team on offense, we have some serious weapons, discounting Saquon completely too. So.
No, you do. And first thing I want to say is I like Daniel Jones a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's actually pretty good. He is fast, man.
Oh, dude,
he's
not agile.
Me and my roommate were watching the game. He's not agile at all. He can't make cuts for his life, but he is fast.
Yeah.
He is point A to point B fast.
Yeah, like
he can pass the ball pretty well. And you got who you receive? You still have Shepard.
we have Shepard, we have Darius Slayton, we still have
Yeah.
Golden Tate, and then we have Evan Ingram as a tight end. So
Evan, I like him a lot.
You guys
Yeah,
had Saquon. I literally think the division could be yours. Like you guys
Yeah.
can take the division.
there's still a chance.
There
There is still
is.
a chance, but we, like the Eagles, again, we also have an extremely hard rest of the season. We play the Browns like you guys. We play the Ravens. We play the Cardinals still.
We still have to play the Cardinals too.
And we wasted. I mean, we beat Washington in 2 of our games, so we don't have any more of those easy wins. We just have Dallas, and who knows if we can beat them? We usually suck against them. So I think it's cause to be optimistic. Our coach has really done well, and if you look at the season, we've only
Judge is good. I like him.
yeah. If you look at the season, we've been blown out once by the 49ers backups. But besides that, we've
Got
been
blown out by the Niners.
Yeah, Nick Mullins, that guy.
Bro, we beat the Niners. Come on.
They beat us at home too. It was bad. But we've been in pretty much every single game that we've played. We just don't know how to win. We should have beat the Eagles the first time at their stadium, but we completely let them back into it, which is terrible. But you know, we've been playing well, going to a bye week. I'm happy with how the season's
Optimistic.
going. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like
I'm not.
honestly,
I'm 0% optimistic.
unless you're an Eagles fan, it's hard to not be optimistic about your season in the NFC East. Because as garbage as a team as your team could be.
If you're not an Eagles and you're not Cowboys can't even help it because Dak got
but the
hurt.
Cowboys, they lost Dak. I mean, literally, like.
Yeah, but what's worrying about that is, like, what I would say is, if you're the Cowboys, like, if any team in the NFC East, and maybe even one of any teams in football, they're probably the most well-placed to lose their quarterback. Like, I know that Dak is amazing, and it's obviously going to be a significant drop-off, but they have so many good wide receivers. They have a top 5 running back in the league. So, like, their offense shouldn't be that bad, but Zeke has dropped off massively since he's left.
Yeah.
And their wide receivers have dropped off. Like, their wide receivers, they've got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. Like, these are some good wide receivers.
I have
Probably
2 of them on my fantasy team.
Yeah, like,
I have
literally.
Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. They haven't done jack squat.
Yeah, like, literally probably the best receiving core in the NFC East. And Andy Dalton's not that bad. And, like, their defense is just awful, man.
Dude, I said that when they drafted CeeDee Lamb. I'm like, Jerry Jones, you're stupid. You don't have a defense. You have no defense.
They're never going to win a Super Bowl with him there. They're never going to win a Super Bowl with him there.
To quote my dad, defense wins championships.
It does. It always has. Why do you think the Seahawks won the championship?
Why do you think the Eagles beat the Patriots? Because their defense was so good.
That defense was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Every year, if you look at it, the only reason people win championships is because of their defense. Even though the Patriots, that the year Brady won the Super Bowl, they
always have a good
best
defense
in the league. Yeah.
When they beat the Rams 13-3, I mean, like, come on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's pure defense.
Yeah.